Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're going to be playing more of the Battle Rush seasonal event, which is an alternate game mode in which we have just 8 seconds to take our turn, so that means we need to be playing a deck that plays extremely quickly. And today we're going to be playing a deck that does just that, and uses tons of control to manipulate the board. Let's go check it out. So because we have so little time to take our turn in this seasonal event, we want to make sure that our deck is very simple to play, and today's deck achieves just that, because today we are going to be playing an Imposter Nilfgaard deck that focuses on applying as much poison as possible, and then the cards that we can't poison, we'll just lock instead. The only real combo to talk about here is Masquerade Ball, which means when we play additional aristocrats, we will get the chance to play some Fangs of the Empire, which, guess what, means we can apply even more poison. That and Cahir is basically just a counter to some of the high boosting decks like, say, Monsters Thrive that tend to be fairly common in this seasonal event, because he'll get boosted whenever our opponents get boosted, and he also goes along with Masquerade Ball because he's an aristocrat. So I'll flip through the deck here to show you what else we have, but like I said, it is quite simple. It is basically just a whole bunch of poison, in some cases just outright destruction, like in the case of Vilgefortz. Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen is there just because he's another aristocrat. Same with Henrietta. And then we have some damage from Bekker's Rockslide as well. Knickers will just keep in our deck and then he'll get summoned to the battlefield. But everything else is poison, lock, more poison, more lock, getting boosted whenever we apply poisons or lock, and also being an aristocrat. More poison, more lock. So there's a look at the deck. It is very simple to play because it is all about poison and lock, and that's about it. So hopefully that means that it doesn't take much time to strategize and take our turns, which is of course a good thing in this seasonal event. So let's see just how effective it is. Okay, so we're going against monsters here, and we'll go first. Okay, and we have Masquerade Ball, that's obviously huge. We do have a couple of aristocrats at least to trigger all that. May not need all the Fangs of the Empire to complement that, also we definitely don't want Knickers in hand. So, well, yeah, let's get rid of one of these. And not sure that King Cobra is much better. Okay, so, thing is, we probably do want to save that Masquerade Ball, in which case, well, what do we lead off with? Great question. We don't have a great answer. I think we throw away a lock, and we just deal with not actually having the chance to lock anything with it. So it is our highest space strength card right now, and it's not an aristocrat that we need to save from Masquerade Ball. A Yigern. Let's deal that with Yennefer, I'm thinking. Because otherwise, it is likely that they have something like Osril, which they would use to consume that from their graveyard and get a big boost, and we can deny that if we use Yennefer instead. Okay, Predatory Dive, I mean, it's a minor inconvenience. Not like we are too attached to that card that we just played. I mean, we could even use the second Armored Cavalry here. Not that the lock is terribly important on this drone. Okay, and they're going to use, yeah, Arachas Nest here. They may be a full-blown Arachas Swarm deck, which is going to be a little bit tough for us to counter. We don't really have a great answer, but we're going to bleed one of these, for lack of a better option. Because poison doesn't really matter when we're talking about removing a 1-strength unit. But yeah, Spontaneous Evolution is looking very Arachas Swarm-like. Okay, so with that in mind, what would we like to do? I guess it's Fangs of the Empire on their biggest one. Let's just use this to get somebody boosted, because this is going to become a much bigger group of drones quite soon, and we may just want to keep round 1 short here. Okay, yeah, they're going to play an organic card from their deck. It's going to be another one of... Oh no, this time Crimson Curse, really? Okay, it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting more Spontaneous Evolution, or just something to boost all these guys. But let's go with Devil's Puffball here, and remove their biggest drone. Fortunately, we did put the Veil on that unit that is in this row where it will potentially get bled. Alright, and I think now they're setting up for the big boosts. Yeah, Chimera. Makes sense. So I don't think we can really counter this. This is kind of just a matchup that works very well against us. So I think we need to pass here. We do not really stand a chance winning round 1 here. Okay, so we drew into the Yigern that we stole, and Vilgefortz probably okay, along with Devil's Puffball. Again, expecting perhaps even more drones in this round, which means the poison not going to be terribly effective, unfortunately, because there's just going to be so many drones that we can't poison them all. And yeah, that's what they're going back to here. So in that case, I think we just go with Yigern. Get some armor on him. Okay, well, Predatory Dive is fantastic. Well played in that regard. Well, see, the thing is, we really don't have many options here. I guess we go Thirsty Dame. It does mean that we no longer have 2 Aristocrats for Masquerade Ball, but I don't really want to play Masquerade Ball in round 2. Then again, we might have to. Okay, so they pass here. Let's see. I suppose that means Vilgefortz and destroy one of their drones and hope that the card they get back is not humongous. In fact, getting rid of Osrael is fantastic, because they could have still used that to consume the urn that we have in our graveyard now. Okay, so we drew into Cahir, and that is huge, because that is the second Aristocrat for Masquerade Ball, along with Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen, and getting the boost from when they boost could be a very nice counter. Might be one of the only ways we can pull this off against this matchup. So I think we stick with what we have here. Maybe switch out Rot Tosser. And in that case, I think we probably do go Masquerade Ball first now. We are a card down here, so that is, of course, only going to make matters more difficult. But I'm hoping that Cahir, as the ace up our sleeves, might be just the difference maker we're looking for. Alright, Natural Selection is unfortunate. That'll get rid of the Thirsty Dame. And now, go with any Aristocrat. We're going to trigger the poison on that drone, which is not terribly helpful. But we don't really have much of an alternative here, short of resetting and locking a 1-power unit with no orders. Okay, She Who Knows. Ah, that's the one that we got reduced down to 1 strength. That's very helpful. Also, not really a card that is as valuable as it was in round 1. What if we do this and get a full 10-power version? In fact, what if we do this as well? And they just forfeit. So even against a deck that perfectly counters us, we still find a way to win. Alright, going against Skellige here. And we'll go first. Okay, and we do have Masquerade Ball, but we probably want to save that for round 3 if possible. Cahir could be big, but again, an Aristocrat that we might want to save. A lot of locking. What if we can get maybe something a little bit different from that? Maybe get rid of Fangs the Empire as well? Okay, we'll make this work. As for what we go with first, I think the answer is probably a Thirsty Dame, because we are going to look to use a bunch of statuses soon. Okay, Covenant of Steel. We could even Cadavarine this and create a copy of it so that we get a defender, which is rather tempting. I think we do go that route. Would have preferred if it were in the range row, but so be it. Now, if they want to put anything next to it, which is what they do here, then we can use Devil's Puffball to take out Covenant of Steel and deal some damage there. I think that's probably as good as it's going to get. I doubt they're going to put another card on the other side of their defender. Okay, then they're just going to banish, what is it, the defender? The defender. Okay, then for here, how about we lock the Longship? Otherwise, the damage from that is going to get kind of annoying. Okay, and Sire Quan, I think we just destroy this immediately. Or we steal it. Take your pick. Yes, we steal it. Just because the damage is a little bit overkill. And they're going to go with a Drummond Berserker. And we might just destroy that and then boost and then call it around. I think that's probably what we go for here. Let's leave it at this. Okay, they want to destroy the Thirsty Dame, which they can do. That isn't enough for them to catch us. We have a 7-point lead. Is that enough? I think we try, seeing if it takes them 2 cards to catch up to us. That's the hope, at least. Oh, but they have Olgierd for 8 points, so yes, they do have enough. But Knickers with the clutch play. And then they forfeit. Knickers coming up for the win. Alright, so going against Nilfgaard here. And we'll go first. Okay, and I think we probably dump a King Cobra. Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen can work. Oh, we don't want Knickers in our hand. Let's definitely get rid of him. And this can probably be good enough. As what we want to start with, when they have no units out there, I think that probably means we go Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen. Okay, Blightmaker. That'll deal some damage once they bring out the Mage Assassin. Let's now go Thirsty Dame to set up some of our future poisons and locks. We'll put the Veil on, because it'll be our primary engine. Okay, another Blightmaker. Same combo here. So Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen has seen better days. In terms of what we'd like to damage here, if we go with, say, a poison on you, just in large part to set up the Devil's Puffball next for some additional damage to adjacent units, that might be the play. Obviously, this is not a huge unit, so we'd like for them to play taller units. That's not what we're seeing yet. Giving 2 armor. Is it going to be living armor? Not entirely sure. Let's do that combo there. Okay, Cantarella. I mean, I hope they don't steal Masquerade Ball, but they could. Okay, it's just a Moorlehem Hunter. And of course, they can't lock the Thirsty Dame because we put Veil on it, so that's one of the reasons why we did that. Instead, they go for the Bleed. And at this stage, they still don't have any tall units. This is making matters somewhat difficult here, and they really don't have anything that we want to destroy. So I think we do the same thing. We go for some Bleed on them, and I was trying to target that Iron Falcon Troubadour, but was a little too slow. And our turn technically ended, so it randomly targeted the Blightmaker. We got Knickers out as well. Okay, Tibor, we managed to lower him down to a 1 with Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen. That's huge. So we actually benefited from that more than they did. Obviously, they got rid of a Rot Tosser and we didn't get to use the deploy ability. But this might be worth passing here. They need to make up 9 points with 1 card. Can they do it? Teleportation? Is that enough? Oh, it resets Tibor. Well played. Well played. Okay, so I think we go without the Cobra. I think we still go without the Cobra. And then we get a better source of poison. A Phoenix. A little bit of a problem. We are a card up here, so if anything, I was thinking maybe they might not do much, but they are going with the Phoenix. So what if we just try to get enough points out there that even if they pass now, this might be the only card we need to play? Yeah, and they do pass. So that way, what we can do is we can maintain 1 card advantage. So that's big. They will still have some carryover from that Phoenix. Okay, we got Cahir and we got Cadavarine, but we would like to get Masquerade Ball. I think we still try to get it, and we did. Ooh, we lucked out there. Okay, and so in this case, I think probably what we start with. And we'll test if they have a Heat Wave. Well, they're going to lock our first Thirsty Dame. We do still have one in our hand. Francis Bedlam is not bad. Why don't we get another Thirsty Dame out here? And then poison Francis Bedlam. And we might even use Imposter on him on our next turn. I wouldn't necessarily rule that out. Okay, Kingslayer is unfortunate. I mean, we're not really going to play anything from our deck. It's not a huge problem, but it is perhaps an indication that they might have something like Colgrim as their last card. So tell you what, let's go with Vilgefortz. Remove Bedlam. Okay. That's the second time we randomly targeted a card at the end of our turn, because our turn technically ended. Now it's Master of Disguise. They have locked something. Okay, so that will do something to us. Why don't we instead use Cadavarine to get rid of Francis Bedlam and create a copy of him on our side of the playing field? Okay, now they're going to do the same thing to us. Get him back, but I think now what we do is we go to here. This will trigger the last round of Masquerade Ball. Let's re-poison their Francis Bedlam. And the boost from Master of Disguise here will also absorb those, so that's definitely nice. Okay, they have Vilgefortz probably going to be on Cahir, right? What will we get from our deck? Is, well, 5 base power. Rot Tosser doesn't really help us much. They lock Francis Bedlam. That's a decent play. Let's use Devil's Puffball here on Francis Bedlam to deal some damage to the adjacent units. Alright, Dead Man's Tongue is going to make somebody pretty big. I think we're probably going to use Artifact Impression on this card. Either that or on Master of Disguise. Master of Disguise is going to continue to get bigger, so I think we probably use it on him. And then maybe even create a copy of him. Just because we're running out of time to make that happen. I was waiting to see if maybe they were still going to have Colgrim. Because I am sort of expecting that. But if we go Anna Henrietta, then we can steal their leader ability. And that gives us the ability to lock Colgrim if they do have him. And if they do, then this is likely when they're going to play him. I mean, we have basically the same number of cards in our deck, so not sure what the mill was all about, but it's not really good enough at this stage to set him up, and so they don't play any Colgrims here. Let's go with just a basically random poison, and we know that we don't have enough stuff to set up the outright removal with poison, but they don't know that. And then Usurper, that doesn't change too much here. We're basically just going to hit a card with Bekker's Rockslide, and then we're gonna lock some stuff, but we've already taken the lead, so they forfeit. Okay, so going against Nilfgaard here, and they'll go first. Okay, and we have a bit of a strange mixture here of lock and poison and aristocrats. Let's get rid of a Thirsty Dame, and I mean, we'd love to get Ball here. Oh, we obviously don't want Knickers either. Okay, moving a unit to the top of their deck. Not really sure that's anything we're going to want to lock, per se, or poison for that matter. In which case, it does put us in a bit of a tough spot. Why don't we Rot Tosser just to put something in between these two units, so that we have a decent chance of poisoning two units. And they'll play Blightmaker here. And use that to get a bunch more cards down. That will apply some poisons. Let's go Rot Tosser round 2. Apply some pressure here. Oh, wow. They passed extremely early. In which case, we just want to put up some points. Why don't we go Thirsty Dame? In fact, arguably should have put that first. Just because if we're expecting to throw down more poisons, then we can make sure get boosted in the process. And that will be enough right there. And, well, tell you what, if Knickers had come out a little bit earlier, we could have even won this on even cards. But either way, very short round 1. Okay, so we drew into Cahir. That's an interesting one. And Van Moorlehem Hunter, I think we probably still have enough lock that that's not super necessary, and we do have enough aristocrats that even if we got Ball, we'd still be fine. Vilgefortz is also probably fine. Not sure we need Fangs the Empire. And, well, Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen could certainly work. It's a little bit tough going first here. I would say maybe we go Shilard Fitz-Oesterlen, because at least this still works even when they don't have any units out. And I think we may go for the 2-0 here. We'll see what they play. This is a little strange. Not sure what the idea is here. In that case, why don't we say, put down, let's go big or go home. Let's go Cahir. And, well, they're going to lock him, which I suppose does make a lot of sense that they would do that. And now Hunting Pack does work. So we could still bail if we feel like we've done all we want to do here, because Cahir was potentially going to be our driving force of this round. After he gets locked, not too much else we can do besides just throw down poison after poison. But it might be best to save that for round 3. Okay, again, I think with a couple of armored cavalries, we don't really need a Van Moorlehem Hunter, because we should still have... Actually, do we have enough aristocrats? Maybe we don't. Tell you the truth, no. Let's hold on to you just in case. Let's get rid of one of you. And we do get Ball. Okay, so that's huge. Okay, more Blightmakers. And they even get Athen out here. And I think we do lead off with Ball. And if they have a Heat Wave, they're certainly going to use it. But at least now we have a Thirsty Dame out there, so once we start applying all those poisons, we should get a lot of boosts. Let's see, Sarah to deal damage. Is it going to be 2 or 4? Oh, wow, it's 4. Okay, so that's enough to get rid of it. So why don't we apply some of that poison now? Okay, more of the new cards here. Mage Assassin this time. And now they get their Knickers out. That took a long time for him to come out. I mean, we don't really have anything that we particularly want/need to lock. Let's actually poison you. Wow. Okay, well, our turn apparently ended, so it auto-targeted our King Cobra. That's lovely. Okay, so Dead Man's Tongue is going to give this Mage Assassin a big boost. Let's use Vilgefortz to get rid of it. And we'll get out a Viper Witcher Adept instead, and, well, we do have more cards than they do at the moment, so that is going to get boosted. Okay, what if we use Imposter on this card right here? I'm thinking that's probably worth doing. Let's do that now. And then let's also throw out, I think, just some bleed, to tell you the truth, because there aren't too many cards here that are worth locking. For the most part, they've already used their deploy abilities, and that was the only one that was going to have an additional order. Okay, Ox will lock. I mean, I have to imagine it's going to be this guy right here. Yeah, we don't have any Purification, or at least we don't anymore. So, well, why don't we use Henrietta here? And we'll trigger the last round of this. We will use Get Rid of Seret. And we now have Imprisonment, so we can do more locking, which, like I said, I don't think that's going to be a huge factor here, more so just a little bit of damage. This is going to be a bit of a problem. We're probably going to want to poison you. Fortunately, we didn't have any huge units, so that wasn't a big problem. But we could Bekker's Rockslide to just outright delete you. That's not out of the question. Either that or, what if we, tell you the truth, we do this, and we can still use the order ability. Even if they tried to lock the first one, they have used all of their leader ability charges now. So in theory, that could work. Let's see, what if we now do this? And the poison wasn't huge. I'm going to take some time here to figure out what we want to do with this. With 8 cards in our deck, we're going to want to boost ourselves, probably with the Cupbearer. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's do this. Excuse me. And then let's probably destroy you. I actually should have done the Viper Witcher. I did not even notice that for a second. In fact, we should lock this. Should have. We still can, but definitely would have been better to do that earlier. Do we have any 9s? We don't. Okay. And in fact, for that reason, they forfeit. So there's a look at a Poison and Lock Nilfgaard deck for the new Battle Rush seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below to let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.